For so many people around the world, that is being in a stable relationship, which will implies that they will benefit from companionship for the rest of their lives. And by bouncing ideas with a special person in the relationship that we all having as a physical presence, we always expected in any relationship in other to give us a sense of closeness in the relationship, mutual affection, and deep rapport. However, in this way, what we never expect though in a relationship is to feel alone in that relationship with someone that you love. Alternatively, research has been shown that a relationship therapist have commonly sees couples expressing a sense of void, even a sense of loneliness within their partnership, and even their loved ones. They also struggle to make sense of it, as it can be very difficult for the couples involved. As a loneliness can mean different things for so many different people around the world. However, it generally includes some of the following, for example, like feeling unheard or not listened to by your partner, feeling unloved or uncared for, feeling disconnected from the relationship, feeling anxious in bringing up issues, not sharing news, good or bad, with your loved one, overlooking their input or not feeling like your input matters, feeling unsure about the future, the relationship, or yourself, finding yourself a solo decision maker, beginning to make plans, short or long term, that don't involve your other half, feeling sad, empty or hopeless. In this case, if you are in a relationship and yet you already have begun to feel alone in a relationship, then you may be wondering what caused it to happen and how you may fix it. Relate UK acknowledges how complex the notion of loneliness can be. It can include internal factors, which, to a degree, belong to you, as well as factors that are shared with your partner equally. Understanding both of these can help you address them better. Number 1. You are feeling lonely from within a detachment. You might start to wonder and even stare at this, be wondering by how internal factors, personal traits, temperament, or even your behaviors can also make you feel like you are alone in a relationship you are in while in the company of someone you really love to be around. Hear me out. Attachment styles and relationships that you are in. We've all heard about attachment before when it comes to pertains of the children. But in this way, how does attachment plays a part in adults' life when it comes to being in a relationship with your loved one? In brief, there are 4 main attachment styles grown-ups can display. Secure. Having a secured adults need to have less attention than their counterparts. They also tend to be more satisfied in their relationship whenever they feel like they can trust their partner more, and in this case by balancing the mix of needing support vs needing independence in the relationship, and of course, value the same in their partner relationship. As adults with a secure attachment pattern generally don't complain about feeling lonely in their relationship with your partners, presenting with a more easygoing attitude towards them. The other one is dismissive avoidant. In this way, having a partners with a dismissive avoidant attachment tend to put distance between themselves and their partner also. They may completely isolate or take on the role of the manager or parent. When it comes to dismissive avoidant of a partners, then they may attempt to convince themselves that they're independent and no longer need to feel like they need connection from their spouse. However, this only leads to an element of detachment and by have defensiveness. They may even be harsh and or act like they just don't care about you. In this case, I can say, newsflash, they do. And the next one is having an anxious preoccupied. Spouses in a relationship with an anxious attachment style tend to seek, sometimes at the risk of always and really annoying their partner every time. They may even feel constant presence and even feel reassurance. They may have been described as emotionally hungry in a relationship with you. And they may talk about needing their partner really bad in order to complete them or rescue them. Worst case, they may even feel like that without a fulfilling relationship with their partner, and they may feel like they do not matter anymore or are only half of themselves. The risk in this attachment style is becoming clingy and needy by your loved one and can being rejected by an exhausted partner, causing them to feel alone in their relationship. Fearful avoidant, aka feeling like a disorganized person. Finally, a partner in a disorganized attachment by feeling disorganized pattern may live in a constant state of being fear and or feeling like confusion by trying to balance themselves by being too close or too distant from their partner in a relationship. There's a real ambivalence in these people in that way they may feel they may never get it right in life, and which can make them feel overwhelmed by their emotional cyclones in their life. Sadly, in this case, adults with this attachment style often have a history of having difficulty by upbringing. This translates to constantly feeling hurt, subjectively at times, by the person they need to feel safe with. To make matters even more worse, they may generally struggle in resolving their needs. In this case, you can see how your attachment style may have something to do with feeling alone in your relationship with your partner that you really love. If you're not quite secure in your attachment, it's not too late to change this. Rewriting your narrative via self-help books, therapy, or with the help of an understanding partner is a good place to start. Having problems with your mental health and feeling loneliness. If you are saying, how does having mental health problems have anything to do with feeling or being lonely in your relationship? To put into perspective simply, it is a great deal. Our thoughts affect our even emotions and subsequently in our behaviors. Imagine how a depressed person may feel about their relationship if they're feeling flat down, low, insecure. They are likely to feel lonely because depression makes us feel like that. The same goes for anxiety. If we're feeling anxious, we might find ourselves feeling fearful, jumping to the worst-case scenario, or simply internalizing all these emotions and blocking our partner's influence by the same token. Taking this one step further, trauma may impact how we manage relationships, trust others, and assume the worst. When people have genuinely experienced adverse events through their lives, they may continue to expect them. This may also lead them to feel very lonely as a result of their somewhat distorted experiences. Working on your mental health is beyond important. It's vital to a healthy relationship. This is because you matter. Your happiness matters. Your relationship matters too. Depending on how your mental health may be compromised, you could attempt to work on it by yourself via motivational podcasts/quotes, self-help, self-care, and other simple ways to help you overcome depression. If your mental health requires a little bit more work, please seek professional support from a therapist and/or your family doctor. As my mental health improved, so did my relationship. It was such an uplifting time both personally and as a couple. I didn't feel lonely after that. Number 2. You are feeling alone within a relationship with your partner. Whenever we've established being in a relationship with your loved one, and by even having fun with your loved one or your partner in this case, on the other hand, it is possible to feel lonely based on what might be going on internally. However, in many cases, this loneliness comes as a result of relational factors. Like, for example, Part 1. Having a poor communication to your partner. It is clearly by having a communication is the backbone of any relationship. It may also allow the couples to hear each other out, by creating a meaning out of the information shared, and respond in either a positive or negative way with each other. Needless to say, there is the right way and the wrong way of having a relationship with your partner when it comes to communication. Or aggressive or dismissive, uncaring, and/or argumentative communication between two partners with each other this may lead to one feeling unheard of or unloved from your loved one and consequently alone in the relationship. Part 2. Not properly scheduling the issues. Regardless to say of how much of the couples may love each other, without some nurturing and prioritizing the right time or the right love time and other to see each other in time of being with your partners and may even start disconnecting. Partly also it's a habit. Partly it's individualizing a day-to-day routine. Nevertheless, we cannot have a relationship with a ghost. At all for each other by setting some time aside to connect is paramount. Also, this is certainly relevant for partners who may work away and deal with physical absence and/or physical distance. By scheduling some one-on-one time for each other is a good way to stop feeling lonely in your relationship with your partner. Part 3. Having the quality time of being together forever. As we discussed this above, it is very important for you and your partner to find time to be together by even having the time to be alone with your partner. Alternatively, if we don't want to find ourselves lonely in our relationship with your partner, then in this way, if you are saying, but what is as important? The answer is by making sure that the quality time that is spent is actually good for the both of you. For example, by emptying the trash together might be time spent as a couple, but what kind of quality time is it? As by paying more attention to the quality of your time together and by even making it fun, as enjoyable and/or diverse. Take turns in planning your activities for a broader range of fun. Number 3. Having different goals and different expectations in life. In this way, if you are saying, now what do goals and expectations have to do with feeling alone in a relationship with your partner? The answer is As explained by Austin Bollinger when emphasizing the importance of setting goals, goals are like the road and even a map of any relationship, including with your partner. In other words, if I say that they drive us in a specific direction to reach something we both, and hopefully equally, want to achieve in life. If I say to you now, what will happen when partners have different goals in life? Or what about when they expect completely different approaches and/or outcomes in life? Sadly, in this way, I will say to you that it leads to a disconnect, a feeling of confusion, and even frustration, sometimes even hopelessness with your partner. Needless to say, this is enough to make partners feel like they are a lonely person by simply based on the fact that what matters to them and the goals they value don't match the goals of their partner that you love. In this sense, compatibility in a relationship is important. Feeling or being alone in your relationship could mean that there is an existing or new shift in your directions, and either you both need to revisit your goals and either both of you can steer at them in a common direction or accept that the journey is no longer following a common path that you and your partner is following. Number 4. We all have needs and unmet needs in life. Everyone around the world have needs in life, either physical needs, emotional needs, and even spiritual needs and sexual needs, just to name a few. We as humans has it all. In this case, when we are in a relationship with another person, we hope to have some of these needs, if not all, a good chunk, met by the person we all love, including the most. When this doesn't happen, to us we feel rejected or unloved, unprioritized. Unfortunately, if I say what happens then is we seek to meet these needs elsewhere around the world. It's human nature and it's universal. Perhaps it's through a third party. Perhaps it's through a distraction such as work, friends, hobbies. Perhaps it's by cutting all expectations that our spouse is willing and/or able to meet our needs. We all feel like we are a lonely person, and our human brain will seek to fill that void any way it can. It took me a while to realize that expressing what my needs were wasn't selfish. It was what people did when they felt safe in their life. And feeling safe and nurtured was definitely what I wanted for both me and for my partner. Number 5. Sexy times for the romantic couples. Both men and women will have experienced intimacy differently with their partner. There's a lot involved when it comes to having a good or great or even wonderful sexual experience with your partner. It also including trust, respect, communication with your loved one, and by reading and understanding each other's likes and dislikes about your loved one. For many women in long-term relationships, they need to feel emotionally connected to be in a sexy mood in order to do it. And for many men, however, need the sexual experience to feel connected to their partners. What does this mean in practice? This means that when couples are disconnected sexually, whether because of scheduling issues, relationship difficulties, parenting/stress, and/or physical/mental health issues, they may feel a degree of loneliness in their relationship. Number 6. Feeling hurt really bad and getting betrayal. If you are thinking about it, then in this case, I will say, yes, this may appear common sense, so I won't harp on about this one too long to you. On the other hand, when couples experience objective or subjective feelings of getting betrayal from a loved one, whether it is through affairs, lying to your partner, or other hurtful stuff, which may incidents, spouses may definitely feel really lonely. Repairing the damage is absolutely doable but may require patience, commitment, and major efforts on both parts. Depending on what the issues are, couples may benefit from a relationship expert to guide them in the right direction. Hey, thank you for watching The Paths in Life. Be sure to subscribe for more life topics on The Paths in Life.